Hi there, welcome to Colors. I'm Erica. On today's video, we are going to be continuing our How I Color Alphabet series. Today is U, and U is for unicorn. Of course it's for unicorn. What else would it be for? Yeah, so I have some cute pages that I have pulled to show you guys, and then I also have some colored pages as well. So let me go ahead and get started with those. Of course, I have this cute book, this Fadorables book by Selena Fenwick, which I love. I have colored a few pages in here, but there are two unicorn pages. So there's this one and this one here. And if you saw my rainbow, How I Color Rainbows, you saw these images as well. And I just think they're so sweet and fun, and they're really fun to do with alcohol markers. Last month I experimented a little bit and played around with some other stuff in there, and makes for a crinkly page, but it still looks cute. So we might do one of those today. Those are quick and easy typically. There are a couple that I found in Maria Troll. Of course I didn't mark this one. Darn it, there it is. We've got this one here, which is super sweet, and that one was in Botanicum. And then in Luna, there is one as well. It's just a kind of a hidden one though. Not too many unicorns in these books, but the two that she has in here are super cute. I really like these, both of them. So those are other options that we could color today. Then the other two that I found, nope, that's not the right page. I found this one in Spirit Animals, which is really cool. I love the layout of it. I love that there's a rainbow. I just think it would be such a pretty page. It would be really fun to do in like bright 80s, rainbow bright kind of colors too. So yeah, there's that one. And Hannah Carlson is another one. She only has a few unicorns, and I have colored a couple of them actually. So this is another one that I found in Enchanted Forest by Johanna Basford, and there's this unicorn page, which I really like that one too. I think that's a cool one. I will not be doing this one today because I know that if I start this, it's gonna consume me, so I need to do something that I'm okay with just doing the unicorn on possibly. So yeah, so there is that. Okay, so let's move on. I've got these other cool books. So I have 3 books that are just unicorns. I mean, there's other stuff thrown in here, but these are the 3 that I have that I really love. This one was the Coloring Heaven Unicorn Special. If this is available on their Etsy shop, I will link it. Or you might be able to go to their website and see if this is still available, but there's a ton of different styles of unicorns in here. The white stag ones aren't my favorite, but I've seen people do really cute things with those. But these ones by Selena Fenwick are just gloriously beautiful. They're so pretty. And then there is another artist. So this one is Heather Hitchman, which I think these are called Kierans. So I don't know what the difference is. Maybe they have 2 horns and they're more scaly like a dragon. But then she's got some unicorns in here as well. And these are super cute too. I really like those ones as well. And the fact that they've got like curly horns, I thought those were interesting. So yeah, super cute. That one I love. Then this one, of course, by Lulu Mayo, the whole book of just the cutest little unicorns in every shape and size that you would want. And of course, I don't have anything colored in this yet. So this one will probably be one we'll be working on today because I love this book and I really need to work in it. I had given one of my copies to I have 2 copies of this book. I have this one, and then I had given one to my mom and I never got it back. So I was like, I'm just going to get another one because it's cute enough that I love it. So there's that one. And then Unicorn Wonders by Marjorie Sarnett. It's a Creative Haven book, and this is another one that is just really, really pretty. Beautiful images, really fun, fantastical kind of images too. Steampunk. She always does these kind of things when she does animals. She'll have different themes for each little page. And I have done one in here, and I did the one that's like the close-up of the unicorn. I did this one, which I really like the way that that one turned out. That was super fun to do. Yeah, I like that. I like that one a lot. But yeah, really cute pages. And then let's see. So in Tales from the Forest Kingdom, I have started a unicorn page in this one. So I started this double page layout. I was using the my new paints from the Art Spirits, which I really like. I hope you guys can see how shiny and just awesome that is, and it's gonna look so cool when I get all of the rest of the water and this other unicorn done. And then we'll see about, because I have lots of metallic-y paints, so I might do the whole unicorn in all the metallics and then have the other things around it be not as metallic-y, so that those stand out really well. But yeah, this is one that's been on my wish list to get finished. I colored one in Daydreams. This was the color along last month, and I did this page. This is a rainbow unicorn. Had a lot of fun with this one. It was a quick, just a quick fun page to do, and I was glad that I was able to do it with you all, and I hope to see other people do that color along with me, because it was really fun. So there's that one. Then I did this one from Kirby Rosanna's. This is an older one, but still one that I am pretty proud of because it took forever. And it's always, you know, whenever you finish a double page spread by Kirby, you just feel proud of yourself. So there is this one. I really like that one. And then the last one I want to show you was a recent one that was done. You may have seen this on my completed pages for February. And I did this one. I really like how she turned out. This one was started for my Q is for Quartz, how I color quartz. And I used alcohol markers. I used alcohol markers on the background, the horse, the quartz, the flowers, the leaves, and then I went over and did a little bit of shading with some Black Widow pencils, and just love how it looks. And I put lots of stickles everywhere and silvery, sparkly goodness. So yeah, really cute page. I love the way that turned out. So yeah, so that is all of the show and tell that I have. So let's get started with coloring a unicorn. All right, so our first page is going to be in Million Unicorns. I have gone ahead and done the background images. I just wanted to focus on the cute little unicorns today. So I typically do color a lot of my unicorns white, but today I thought I would do it just a little bit different. I'm going to take some inspiration from the front cover and color them a little bit cream today instead of white. So I am using Brutfuner square pencils, and I have my I have two colors here. I have number 90 and number 69. I still have not gotten the color names, but I will. That is on my to-do list. I do need to grab one more color. Hold on just a second. Okay, so I've got a couple of grays here that I'm going to use to do a little bit of shading. So I have 96 and 62. So first, I think what I'll do is I'll add in a little bit of the grays. I'm going to start with this number 96, and I'm just going to add in some gray wherever I think some shadow might be. This is a really light gray because I've got really light colors for the rest of my unicorn. So I didn't want it to be super dark. I just wanted it to be a little bit different than the colors I'm going to put on the top, just so you can kind of see that there's a little bit of a shadow created there. The darker color that I pulled will be if, you know, these colors aren't cutting it. So this is a very cartoony style, so you are, you know, you have a lot of leeway on where you add your shadows and things. Most of the time I'm just going to do it where things would overlap. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with number 90, and we're going to color right over top of that. And I am going to come right along the edge of my unicorn as well. I might have to add in that gray color around different areas in the unicorn too. Okay. Yeah, so I'm using this darker color. This is actually gonna be my shading color as well. So I wanna make sure that I leave, like, in the darker areas, I'm gonna have this color, and then in my lighter areas, I'm gonna use this other cream color that I have pulled. Okay, and then I am gonna use, for their hair, I've got a couple of different colors pulled for that as well. And I just wanna make sure that I get enough color on this page here so that it does look like a cream tone instead of yellow. Okay, then I also have a white, my white Brutfuner pulled as well, just so on the areas where it's really, like, I know that I want some definite highlights, that white will be used to kind of blend everything together there. So I just used number 69, and I'm going to use the white just a little bit on the chest here. And then on the nose, around the nose. Okay, so now I'm just going to go back in again. I'm going to do another layer with my 96 in the darker areas. Making sure to go over where I put that gray down previously. Okay, and then I am going to use this other gray now. This is number 62. I think that's what I said. Yeah, 62. And for this one, I'm just putting the color right under that line. Like, I don't want to go very far from that line at all if I can help it. And that's just going to create a nice dark shadow in there. A little bit underneath there. This cute little saddle thing. And then a little bit more just in that corner. Okay, so there is my little cream colored unicorn. I'm going to do the same thing on this one. I'm going to go ahead and speed that up so that you guys can see, but it's basically the same steps. So I will talk to you guys here again in a second. Okay, so the other little thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add in a little bit of a pink cheek, because I love it when these little kawaii characters have pink cheeks. So I'm putting a little tiny circle of pink. I'm using number 70, Brutfuner number 70. I'm just adding a little circle to each of the unicorn's cheeks. And then the next step I'm going to do is their hair. And the way that I thought I would do that, I'm going to do one pink and one kind of like a purpley pink, if that makes sense. So I'm going to use, for the pink one, I don't want it to blend too much into the background, so I want it a little bit darker than the other colors that I have been using. So I have Brutfuner number 52, number 108, and number 71 that I'm going to be using. And this is the same color as in the background, but I'm just going to use that for a couple of shadows here and there. So I'm just adding a little bit to the hair. Okay. Then I'm going to use this number 108, and this is going to go right over top of that dark color I put in. And then in a couple of areas, I want to make sure that I leave an area for me to add that light color in. So you can see I've left a little bit of space here and here. So we're going to add that color in here. And then I'm going to use number 71 to go over all of that. And this just kind of blends everything together. I will probably go back through one more time with my colors just to darken everything up. I just want to add in, get enough shadows and stuff to make it look like it's fluffy and fun. All right, there is that one. Okay, the next one I'm going to do is this pinky purple color. Hopefully this isn't too far off. I might have to add in some of this pink if it's too purpley, but I'm going to start with 105, and I'm going to do the same kind of thing. Okay, let's try this color. So this is 14. These ones are just fun to color. I really enjoy, and then I'm using number 100. I really enjoy Lulu Mayo's art because you can literally color these things any color you want, and it works. It doesn't matter if it's something that's supposed to be that color. It, you know, it just works. For this one, I had picked a color palette, which I think that I will share on screen for you guys just so you can see kind of my game plan for this one. But I just thought it looked really cute. Okay, so I am going to add in some pink. So this is number 70, and I'm just going to add it in just a few spots just to pink this up a little bit. Okay, I'm going to darken those shadows up again. That's the thing with Brutfuners that you do have to remember. These do work well as a layering pencil. You just have to be careful about the amount of pressure that you put down in your initial layers. So again, I'm just cycling through all those same 4 pencils that I used previously. A little bit of pink in here to finish everything up. Okay. All right, so that is that. I'm going to do their, what are these, saddles, I guess. I've got a couple of gel pens. Now, this one is a really old one, and I have no idea what brand it is. But this one is the Link Shine, and I like both of these. And I'm going to add in some, let's do some orange color and some pink, I think. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna color these parts pinky. This is more like a peachy color, but we'll do peach first and then maybe add some pink on top. We'll see. And then I'm gonna add in this orange color. It's more of a yellowy orange, but okay, I like that. Let's add in some, of this 108 color on top of the orange for some shading. We'll do a little bit down here. And then for the pink, let's use this, nope, let's use this one. So this is 70. So I'm basically just picking from a lineup of colors that I already have pulled. So I'm just kind of recycling colors throughout the whole page to make it look kind of not uniform, cohesive, that's the right word. I'm just making sure to reuse those colors in different areas and make it all look pretty. Oh, that pink, I think that was 71, and then this orange is 91. Okay, there's that. And then I'm going to outline their saddles with, I'm gonna do this pink color. So it's like a pinky red color. But this is a really old gel pen. I'm sorry, I don't know the brand. And then for their horns, I'm going to use a little bit of, oh, don't you die on me. Whew, I thought this was about to die. I hate that when you are coloring with the gel pen and it dies right in the middle of your project. So frustrating. And then we'll use this little orange one to go over the dots here. Okay, so for the horns, I'm gonna go ahead and color that in with my kind of goldy color here. You know what? I might add in one more color. So I'm gonna add like a goldish color. Let's go with, actually let's just go with gold. So we're gonna grab number 59, and that is this one. So this is the actual gold Brutfuner, and I'm just gonna color right over the horn with this gold. It does have a little bit of a metallic sheen to it, but I'm gonna add even more. So I've got this, this is a Cosmic Shimmer Cosmic Twinkles, and I'm gonna add just a little bit of, well, shoot, come on, there we go. Just a little bit of gold. And if you get it someplace else while it's still wet, you can use your finger to maneuver it around. And I do use the tip of this kind of like a paintbrush as well to push the glitter glue. Let's see. Okay, I think that's it. I think our little unicorns are done. So there are like my cream colored unicorns. I think they turned out very cute. Lots of sparkle and shine on there, so I hope you guys can see some of that. Super cute page. All right, so that is that one. Let me get set up for the next one, and I will be right back with you. All right, the next one we're gonna do is in Fayedorables. This is by Selena Fennick. And I picked out this page, and you can kind of see I've got a little bit of a border drawn in, sketched in. I'm going to do something in this background, but I'm going to keep that kind of contained within that border. But right now we're going to focus on our unicorn. So I'm going to do a white-ish unicorn for this one. There is some color on my backer page here, so when I go over this with alcohol markers, that might show through, but it's not going to bleed into it or anything. Okay, so I have from my Ohuhu pastel set, I have B50, and I also have a colorless blender here. So I am going to add in this B50 in any area where there might be a shadow. So I'm just going to, and this is a really quick way to do your unicorns. So I'm going to use this colorless blender now to go right along the edge of that and blend that out as best I can. Depending on the paper, this will go better than it would in other instances. Okay, I'm also going to go right underneath the nose here. And this paper does bleed quite a bit, so it will look a little wonky in some instances, but it will eventually do what it's supposed to do. And you can always fix other things with like Posca pens or pencils. So just adding in shading here and there. I'm going to get a little bit right here. When I use this colorless blender, you can see that it makes it bleed even more. And that's basically what the colorless blender does. It just kind of gets in there and adds more marker juice, basically. And the other thing that you have to remember about markers is you're gonna have an ugly stage. It just is not gonna look good for a little while. But when you keep playing with things, it will eventually work itself out. go this way. Okay, underneath the hair a little bit here. We're gonna do a little bit here. And then I am gonna do just a little line of color right back here. I'm trying to think where else I would want some. Maybe along the bottom here. So this is a thinner line. Okay, and then probably another thin line right there. Okay, so I'm gonna let this dry, and then we'll come back and see what we got. All right, so that didn't work out as well as as I wanted it to, but I can fix it. So we're gonna focus on the hair now. I've got two alcohol markers. I have PB1 and PB2. And I think the reason that it didn't work out as well as I wanted is because it's not on the best paper. So right now I'm gonna go through with my PB2 and I'm just gonna add in anywhere where I want a little bit of shadow. And I'm using a very light touch so that I don't get crazy amounts of bleed through. And so now I'm just adding in shadow here and there. And my marker is barely touching the page, just barely. So now I'm gonna go over all of that with my PB1. I'm gonna start in the darker areas and just color out into the lighter. These colors are pretty close on the color chart, but they seem to be good matches for blending. All right, I'm going to use this same technique on the tail. Okay, got the tail done. So typically in these books, I use my alcohol markers as just a flat base, and then I go over top with my colored pencil, and I think that's what I'm going to have to do because it's just bleeding way too much. So I am going to add in just a little bit more color. I'm going to do a little bit of a pink cheek. So I add in, this is RV30, and then I'm just going to use my Colorless blender right over top of that to spread out the color. Now that's that color showing through from the background. I'm also going to add a little bit of pink to the ears here. Okay, and then I have this really dark blue. This is PB4 from the I don't know, I think it's 120 Ohuhu set, and I'm going to use this for the eye and for the hooves. And for the hooves, I'm going to leave a line of highlight on here. So I'm going to go ahead and color in that section, and then I'm going to leave a highlight right here. Make this a little smaller. Okay, There's our highlight line. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to do a line here. And then a line here for the highlight. That seems a little thick. All right, so there's that. And now this doesn't look terrible. It's just, it's a little messy. I have to clean up some spots, but you know, it's coming along. It's coming along. So for the horn, I think I'm going to make that silver. Or no, I'm just going to make it white sparkly, and I'm going to do the same thing with the star. So I'm going to add in a little tiny bit of gray color. So I'm going to use my Cool Gray 2. And first I'm going to try, well, we'll just do this. So I'm going to add in a little bit of gray underneath each of the twists of the horn. And then also along one side. And then on the star, I'm going to add in some shadow there too. Let's just do like that. And then I'm going to use my Colorless blender a little bit just to try to get some of those harsh lines blended out. Yeah, that'll work there. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab some pencils and my white Posca, and I will show you kind of how I'm going to clean up this cute little unicorn. Okay, so I grabbed some Prismacolors. I have my non-photo blue, which is PC919, and sky blue light, which is PC1086. I also have my teeny tiny white, which I do have new pencil extenders, so let me go grab one of those really quick. Okay, I have these new pencil extenders. These are from Art and Fly, and they're the twisty kind instead of the ones that you push into place. And I just really like these a lot better because they hold the pencil very firmly in there. So yeah, I will link these in the description below because they're cool. Okay, so I picked some colors that were similar in tone to what I've already got laid down on the paper. So I'm going to use this, what is this? This non-photo blue in the darkest areas. And I'm going to ignore where I've gone over lines and not worry about that at the moment. We're trying to fix what we did. And so this hair is all hanging over, so we're going to add a little bit of shadow into all those areas. The thing about white unicorns is, I mean, you could just leave it white, and that's perfectly fine. I like to add in a little bit of color just to change the shade of white. I know that sounds weird to say. White is white, right? But there's so many different shades of white that it's like if you go to the paint store and you look up white paint, you're going to get like a million different things because depending on the way the light hits it, it'll give a different tone, and it's amazing what, you know, this just this shadow color can do. Okay, and so this is just going in the darkest areas. I'm gonna just lightly on that one, and then we're gonna do a light line there and a light line right there. Okay, so now I'm going to use my sky blue light, and I'm going right over top of what I just put down and blending that out a little bit. So I'm using a little bit firmer pressure. I'm not pushing super hard, but just a little bit firmer so that it blends that color out even more. And the other thing I'm doing is I'm bringing this sky blue light out into the unicorn just a little bit more to help soften the transition from white into that blue shadowy color. So yeah, so like right in this area here, I'm extending this sky blue light up a little bit and out a little bit so that the that line that was there is kind of blended out into the white a little bit more. And like I said, we'll go back over with some white Posca to cover up the areas that marker bled like a crazy thing. Okay. And as you move away from the blue, you want to lighten your pressure too. You don't want to keep pressing super hard. Okay, so last two steps. I'm going to add in a little bit of dark gray into the darkest shadows. All right, and now I'm going to add in my white Posca, and this is just going to go everywhere where I've gone over the lines and any place where I want highlights. So right here along the jawline, I went over a little bit. And right in here, around the nose. Okay, where else did I go over? A little bit right here. I'll do a little white line here, even though you can't really see it. All this leg. And then this side of the leg as well. And the other thing I like to do is I like to take my Posca and make it look like there's hair coming off of the end of the towards the hoof. Okay, we're going to add in the white along here, right there, and then along the top of, okay, let's see how we did. I think I want to extend the color up here a little bit right there. I want this one to extend a little bit here. A little bit right here. Oh, I forgot to add in the little all right, I need a little bit of, I'm gonna get a black so that I can color in the eye here. I am going to use this black to just go back over a couple of my black lines that I covered up a little bit. There's the body of the unicorn. I'm going to do the hair really quick, so I have a couple more Prismacolors pulled. I have China Blue and Denim Blue, and I'm just going to add in some strands, and that's it. So just a little bit more shading. I'm going to speed that up so you guys can see what I'm doing, but it's nothing like groundbreaking or anything. So just adding my darker color in the darker areas and then probably blending a little bit with this China Blue. So I'll talk to you guys again here in a second. Okay, so the other thing that I can do then is I can take my white Prismacolor and I can come in and add in a few white strands on the hair too, anywhere where there's going to be a highlight. That's always a fun thing to do. So I just pick a few places where I think it might be a lighter color and draw just a couple of strands in there. And that really, when you use the alcohol markers on this paper, you can really use your lighter colors to your advantage by getting the highlights back in there. Okay. All right, I think that's it for the hair. Now let's go ahead and do the horn, and it's just gonna be, I'm just gonna stick with the shading that I've done. I am gonna clean this up a little bit with my Posca because I don't want any blue in there. Okay, and then I'm just gonna use these stickles. Unfortunately, I don't know which color this is. This is the one that has like a turquoisey green color reflection. Okay, and then I'm just going to add the stickles right over top of what I've done. And with that little bit of shading in there, it does add a little bit of dimension, but not a ton. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing on the star. All right, and that's it. That is our little baby unicorn. I love it. I think it turned out really cute. I will probably show you guys this page. If I can finish this before I post this video, I will definitely pop a picture of this at the end. But yeah, there she is. I think she turned out pretty cute, even with the mix-ups and the mess-ups, I guess. There's always a way to fix it. So there you go. There is our second unicorn, and I will be back with the third here in a second. Okay, so my last unicorn is going to be this one. This is called Nighttime Magic. This is from the Coloring Heaven Unicorn Special. And I thought we would do a different, like a solid color kind of unicorn. And I'm going to use these Inktense pencils. This paper does reasonably well for me with Inktense, so I thought that I would give it a go. I do need to grab a couple of things. I need to grab my brushes. Let's see which ones I have here. Okay, that one seems all right. Well, shoot. This might take me a second. All right, so I have a couple brushes here, and my idea for this one is I'm gonna have this lovely blue galaxy type sky in the background, bright moon and bright clouds, and then my unicorn is going to be purples. So I've got Inktense dark purple, dusky purple, deep rose, and mauve. And I'm gonna try my best and see what happens. I kind of want the majority of the unicorn to be this dusky purple color. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this kind of all over. I'm going to use these lighter colors in the areas where I want highlights, the dark purple where I want the dark colors. You get the gist. So I'm just going to go through and lay that color down, let you guys see what I do there, and then I'll talk to you again here in a second. So there is the color laid down. It looks like a hot mess right now, but hopefully we can make that look a little bit better. I do need to make sure that I have my cloth here. And then I'm gonna just start in the lighter areas and work towards the darker. So I'm gonna do a little bit live here with you, and then we will cut to speed color while I finish the rest of this up. You can see how well these Inktense do end up working on the this paper. As long as you don't stay in one spot for too long, they blend well, they move well. Just make sure you have enough water. Sometimes you do have to do 2 layers, but for the most part, I can get them to cooperate with me. The other thing that you could do is you could always use this as a base layer and go back over with colored pencil too. All right, so I think this is working out pretty well. So I might go ahead and speed this up now. You guys can kind of see what I do with the rest of this, and I will talk to you again here in a second. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing with the wings here. I'm going to do mostly the dusky purple, and then add in some of the lighter tones in certain areas. This, I have decided that this is just going to be like a base layer for me, and then I'm going to go back in with a little bit of pencil work to even things out instead of doing another layer of Inktense. I just think that that is a good way to do a combo. And then I have some very cool watercolors pulled to do the mane. So that will be another fun little step in this. So I'm just gonna continue to color the wings. I'll speed that up so you guys can see me color those, and then we will cut to the mane. Okay, got the wings all done. Now I'm going to use this beautiful color. It's called Chic Viola. I don't know. It's from the Cosmic Shimmer watercolor, this pretty set that I got from my lovely friend Amy. She's my bud. But I'm going to use this Viola color. And hopefully, yeah, and I'm using an old water brush, so it's okay to get crazy stuff in there. And this one is just, I'm just painting it right over. I'm not worried about lines because I will go back in later on and add the add some texture back in here once this dries. But this this watercolor is like it changes depending on how the light hits it. So sometimes it looks more purple, sometimes it looks more blue. There's a little bit of like gray in there too. I don't know what that is, but I like it. I just thought it would be a cool way to offset the dark dark horse, and then the dark sky. I know the moon will be light, but I could probably make it work. And so since this is not watercolor paper, your paper's going to buckle. It's just gonna happen, and that is life. So if you do not like your paper buckling like this, then you need to probably prep your page beforehand with some gesso or satin glazing liquid, something like that. And that will help protect your paper so that it doesn't get all crazy. This is the first time I've used this paint, so I was a little excited to try it out. I was looking at my samples and I was like, oh, this one looks cool. All right, that is gonna be that. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with the horn yet. I might make it black. We shall see. All right, so I'm gonna let this dry a little bit, and then when we come back, I will have some pencils and do a little bit of shading work, and then my unicorn will be all done. So I will talk to you guys here again in a second. All right, so this is what it looks like with just that layer of watercolor down, and I'm hoping that you guys can see the color shift on the mane. It looks so cool. I really like it. But we're gonna start with the body. So I've pulled a few Prismas. I have black cherry, dark purple, violet, and Parma violet. And I'm just gonna start with my black cherry in the darkest areas, just to add a little bit, just kind of really darken those nice shadows up. I've got some that are a lot darker than others. I am gonna turn my book, I apologize. But this is just going in the areas that are the darkest. So anywhere where there would be major shadows created. And as you can see, this color is, I mean, it's helping solidify what was already there, but those colors that we were using were pretty dark already. So we don't need to do too much shading. This should go pretty quickly. But I wanted to show you a little bit of what I was gonna do on the wings. And then I will kind of speed color the rest of it, like the body and all that stuff. Okay, and then I'm gonna take this dark purple, and at this point I am gonna start doing some flicks so that it looks more like feathers. And with your Prismas, because they lose their point so quickly, you do want to make sure you're turning your pencil quite a bit. Okay, get some flicks in this one. All right, and then I'm going to use I'm going to hold off on the violet. I'm going to use the Parma violet and come back from the ends of this. This seems a little dark. Oop, darn it. Let's try this. Nope, that's not the right color either. Hold on a second, I got to find the right color. Okay, so I grabbed my lavender, and I think that's going to be, yeah, that's the right color. So I'm just flicking back towards the center. From the ends of the wings there. And then I can fill out any little like areas where there is no color. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit here too, just to get that color in there. Okay, and then yeah, so I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. I'm going to add a little bit of shading around on this guy, except for this part, it's like, well, you know, I'll just show you, sorry. I'll just show you. So I'm gonna flick from these darker areas back towards the lighter. But then this part up here is almost like a fluffy, So I'm just doing like little half circles, if that makes any sense. So it's just like these little tiny, I'm just kind of creating texture. So I'm just making like small little, not even a whole half circle, it's just like a little bunch of little C's everywhere. And then I'm gonna use this. What is this one? This is the black cherry again. So I'm just gonna flick again from the black cherry, or the black cherry back into the, okay, and then I'll hold this up so you can see the texture a little bit better along in here. And it's not anything, you know, earth-shattering, but it does create a little bit of texture and kind of makes that look like feathers. Okay, I'm going to just go ahead and do some just basic shading for the horse, and I will speed that up so you guys can see. And then when we come back, I will show you what my plan is for the mane. Okay, unicorn is done. Now we are going to work on the mane, and I'm going to use lilac, mane and the tail. So I'm going to do, let's just do the tail because the mane will be the same thing. I'm just going to reinforce some of the shadows. So anywhere where I know that there's going to be a shadow where hair overlaps another piece, I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to add in just a few strands here and there, randomly placed. Like I'm not doing anything specifically by plan. So this is just kind of wherever I feel like adding some strands. Okay, I'm gonna have to tilt this up so I can actually see what I've done. I can't really see it because it's all shining right back at me. I hope you guys can see that on camera okay. We'll see. All right, so let me take a look at that. Yeah, and you can really see the color shift. So it goes from like when you look at it, like to me, when it's like this, it looks gray or almost green. But then when I shift it in the color or in the light, it gets that cool purpley color. So yeah, I think that's going to be good. So I'm going to do, I'll do the mane. I'm just going to go ahead and do the mane off camera, and then we'll finish up with the horn. So I will talk to you guys here again in a second. Okay, so now we've got the horn to do really quick. And I'm just going to use some of the same colors that I used on the body. So I've got black grape that I'm going to put in the shadow areas. So I'm going to put shadow underneath each of the little sections of the horn. And then I'm going to come around the back side of each of those, and I'm going to use violet. I'm only going to use a little bit of this because I don't have too much of it in the actual unicorn. And then I'm using the Parma violet. Last, I'm going to use this lavender color and just kind of blend all that together. And use a little bit of the white, my teeny tiny baby white, to lighten up this one side. I might end up coming in and using a Posca there too. But yeah, so let me, you know what, let me use this. I'm gonna use this dark purple. Change the tone of that shadow just a little bit so it more matches the body of the unicorn. There we go. Okay, and then the eye, for the eye, let's do a light purple. So let's do this lilac. And I'm just trying to avoid the spots where they've put in highlights, but then I'll just go back over that with my Posca. Okay, so now for my Posca, I am gonna put in a little bit of a highlight on this side of the unicorn. And then the other thing that I was thinking about doing, and I don't know if this is gonna be silly or not, but I think I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna put, like it was a My Little Pony, I'm gonna put a little bit of a design on the hip. So I'm just gonna draw a star. And then do some dots around the, kind of like that. Let's see, do I want, there we go. And because I used Prismas in the Posca, it's going to change it to like a purpley tone, but I'm okay with that actually. So anything else that I need to do? I wonder if I could add in some highlights on the mane or in the tail. Okay, I think I'm done. So, well, I've got the hoofs, but I'm going to save those actually because I'm going to do them a dark, probably like a black or a purpley black. And I don't want to get it onto my cloud, so I'm going to hold off on that one. But there is our third unicorn. Okay, so I'm going to show you all three of those now. So we did this one, this beautiful one. We did this lovely guy, and I did do a little bit of marker work on here as well, but this is what the main focus is. And then our last unicorn is, of course, this beautiful, cute little unicorn couple. So there, oh, you can't see them. There we go. There are unicorns. I really enjoyed doing those with you guys today. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got something out of it. And yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.